Hello there. I'm Mr. Harris. Used to run a group home for kids. 23 years of my life. Retired now, but some faces, they never leave you. Tonight, I want to tell you about two kids. Twins, Anna and Eric. They came to us on a Tuesday. I remember because it was raining. Here's what you need to know first. Eric never spoke. Not to me, not to the other kids, not to anyone. For a whole year, I thought he was mute. The social worker said nothing about it. Just handed me the files and left. Anna did all the talking. She was 12, same as Eric. Red hair, freckles, green eyes that seemed too old for her face. She'd speak for both of them. Always, Eric wants juice. Eric needs to use the bathroom. Eric says thank you. I'd look at Eric. He'd just nod. Serious face. Never smiled. The other kids started calling them the twins, even though they looked nothing alike. Eric was dark-haired, pale, skinny as a rail. Anna was vibrant, loud, always moving, but they were connected somehow, like they shared the same heartbeat. First night, I showed them to their rooms. We had a policy. Every kid gets their own space. Anna stopped in the hallway. Eric can't sleep alone, she said. Not asking, telling me. House rules, I said. Everyone has their own room. She looked at me like I'd just suggested cutting off her arm. Then Eric won't sleep at all. I should have stuck to the rules. I'd been doing this job for 15 years by then. Knew better than to make exceptions. But something in her voice. I let Eric sleep on the floor of Anna's room. Just for one night, I told myself that was the beginning. Anna became Eric's voice, his translator, his shield. If someone asked Eric a question, they had to wait for Anna to answer. The kids learned quick. They'd look at Eric, then turn to Anna, like he was invisible. But here's what bothered me. Eric wasn't slow, wasn't disabled. I could see intelligence in his eyes. When Anna wasn't around, he'd do things. Fix a broken toy. Help a younger kid reach something high. He just wouldn't speak. 3 weeks in, I found him in the kitchen at midnight. Anna was making sandwiches. Eric was sitting at the table, watching her. They both froze when they saw me. Hungry? I asked. Anna nodded. Eric couldn't sleep. He gets hungry when he can't sleep. I sat down, made myself a cup of coffee. What about you, Eric? I asked directly. He looked at Anna. She started to speak. No, I said gently. I'm asking Eric. The silence stretched. Anna's mouth opened, then closed. Eric stared at the table. His hands were shaking. It's okay, I said. We don't have to talk tonight. But I made a decision right then. I was going to figure out what was wrong with this boy, why he'd given his voice to his sister, and why she'd taken it. I started watching them closer, really watching. Anna never left Eric alone, ever. When he went to the bathroom, she waited outside the door. When he showered, she sat in the hallway. If another kid tried to talk to Eric directly, Anna would step between them, like a bodyguard. But Eric watched everything. While Anna talked, he studied faces, memorized routines. I'd catch him looking at me sometimes. Curious, like he wanted to say something, but couldn't figure out how. 2 months in, we had an incident. Jimmy, one of the older boys, got mad about something. Started throwing chairs in the common room. All the kids scattered. All except Eric. He just stood there, calm, while Jimmy screamed and threw things. When Jimmy picked up a heavy lamp, Eric stepped forward. Didn't say a word, just walked right up to him. Jimmy stopped, looked at Eric. They stared at each other for maybe 10 seconds. Then Jimmy put the lamp down, walked away. Crisis over. Anna came running. What happened? Is Eric okay? Did someone hurt him? But Eric was fine. Better than fine. He looked proud, like he'd done something important. That night, I pulled out their file. Read it again. Their parents died in a car crash when they were 8. Been in foster care for 4 years. 3 different homes. always together. No mention of Eric being mute. No mention of speech problems. I called their previous caseworker, Mrs. Patterson. Nice lady. Been doing this forever. Oh, the Morrison twins, she said. How are they settling in? Anna's fine, but Eric doesn't speak. At all. Long pause. He doesn't speak anymore? Anymore? Mr. Harris. Eric used to talk all the time. Chatterbox. Always asking questions. That was before... Before what? Another pause. Longer this time. There was an incident at their second foster home. The Williamses. Good people, we thought. Ran a tight ship. Maybe too tight. My stomach dropped. What kind of incident? Mr. Williams had rules. Kids weren't supposed to speak at dinner or after 8 p.m. Said children should be seen, not heard. Old school approach. I gripped the phone tighter. And Eric was spirited. Talked back once. Mr. Williams locked him in the basement for 3 days. Dark basement. No food. Just water. I couldn't breathe. 3 days. Anna tried to sneak him food. Got caught. They separated the twins for a week. Put Anna in the attic, Eric in the basement. When we finally found out and removed them, Eric stopped talking. Completely. And Anna became his voice. We moved them to the Hendersons after that. Nice family. But Eric never spoke again. Not once in 2 years. I hung up the phone. Sat there in my office for an hour. Just thinking. No wonder Anna guarded him. No wonder Eric looked so scared when I asked him direct questions. He'd learned that speaking could be dangerous. And Anna had learned that silence could kill. The next morning, I found Eric in the garden. Alone. Anna was inside, helping with breakfast. First time I'd seen them apart. He was picking tomatoes. Gentle hands. Careful not to bruise them. I sat down on the ground next to him. Didn't say anything. Just watched him work. After a while, I started talking. Not to him. Just talking. About the weather. About how the tomatoes were growing well this year. About nothing important. Eric kept working. But he was listening. I could tell. You know, I said finally, I like quiet people. Always have. My grandfather was quiet. Hardly ever spoke. But he was the wisest man I knew. Eric's hand stilled on the tomatoes. He used to tell me that words are powerful. Too powerful to waste. Said some people talk too much. Use up all their words on nothing. But quiet people save their words for when they really matter. I stood up, brushed dirt off my pants. I'll be here when you're ready, Eric. However long that takes. I walked away, left him with the tomatoes, with the silence, with the choice. 3 weeks passed. Eric kept working in the garden. I kept sitting with him, not talking much, just being there. Anna started watching us from the window, suspicious at first, then curious. She'd stand there for minutes, trying to figure out what we were doing. Nothing dangerous. I told her one day, just sitting. She nodded, but she kept watching. Then it happened. On a Thursday morning in October, Anna got sick, real sick, fever, throwing up, couldn't keep anything down. I had to take her to the hospital. Emergency room. Food poisoning, they said. Keep her overnight for observation. I called back to the house. Told Martha, my assistant, to watch Eric extra close. He's never been alone, I said. Not really alone. When I got back that evening, Martha was waiting, face white as a sheet. Mr. Harris, she said, we have a problem. Eric was sitting in the corner of his room, on the floor, rocking back and forth. He hadn't eaten all day, hadn't used the bathroom, just sat there rocking. Eric, I called from the doorway. No response, just rocking. I sat down across from him, far enough away that he didn't feel trapped, close enough that he knew I was there. Anna's okay, I said quietly. She's in the hospital. but she's okay. Just sick. She'll be home tomorrow. The rocking slowed, just a little. I know you're scared, I continued. I know this feels dangerous. Being alone, having no one to speak for you. Eric's hands were pressed against his ears now, like he was trying to block out the world. But you're not really alone, Eric. You got all of us here. Martha, the other kids, me. I reached into my pocket, pulled out a small notebook and a pencil, slid them across the floor toward him. You don't have to talk if you don't want to, but maybe you could write? If you need something, if you're scared. Eric stared at the notebook, didn't touch it. I stood up. I'll be downstairs if you need me. The notebook will be right here. 2 hours later, Martha knocked on my office door. She was holding the notebook. He wrote something, she whispered. I opened it. One word, written in shaky letters. Anna? My heart broke and mended, all at the same time. I went back upstairs. Eric was still in the corner, still scared, but he was looking at me now. Anna's sleeping, I said. The doctors are taking good care of her. She'll be home in the morning. Eric nodded. Then, so quietly I almost missed it, he whispered, Promise? First word in 4 years. I knelt down, looked him in the eyes. I promise, Eric. She'll be home tomorrow. I promise. He wrote 3 more words that night. Hungry, thirsty, scared. Each word was a victory. Each word was a step back toward the world. When Anna came home the next morning, weak but better, she found Eric in the kitchen, eating breakfast, by himself. Eric, she said, confused, are you okay? He looked at her, then at me, then back at her. I'm okay, he said, clear as day. Anna sat down hard in the nearest chair, like someone had knocked the wind out of her. You talked, she whispered. Eric nodded. Mr. Harris promised you'd come back. And you did. For the first time since they'd arrived, Anna didn't know what to say. She just stared at her brother. This boy she protected. This boy who was finding his own voice. I was so scared, Eric continued. But Mr. Harris sat with me, like in the garden. And I remembered I used to like talking. Anna started crying. Not sad tears. Relief tears. Like she'd been carrying a weight for 4 years, and someone had finally lifted it off her shoulders. I don't have to be your voice anymore, she asked. Eric shook his head. You can still talk for me sometimes, when I'm tired or scared, but I think I want to try talking for myself too. I left them alone then, brother and sister, twins who were finally learning they could be individuals, that they could love each other without one disappearing into the other. The next few months changed everything, slowly, carefully, like watching a flower bloom. Eric started small. Good morning, Mr. Harris. Can I have more milk? Thank you. Simple words. But each one was a miracle. Anna had to learn, too, how to step back, how to let her brother speak for himself. It wasn't easy. For years of being someone's voice, that's a hard habit to break. Sometimes she'd start to answer for him, then catch herself, put her hand over her mouth, look embarrassed. It's okay, Eric would tell her. You were taking care of me. Smart kid. He understood what she'd sacrificed, what she'd given up to keep him safe. By Christmas, Eric was talking normally, not as much as other kids his age, but enough. He asked questions now, told jokes, laughed out loud. Anna became herself again, too. The girl she was supposed to be before she became her brother's guardian. Funny, creative, a little bit wild. They stayed with us another year, until a family in Portland wanted to adopt them both. Good people. I checked them out personally. Made sure they understood Eric's story. Made sure they'd never silence him again. The day they left, Eric found me in the garden, same spot where we used to sit. Mr. Harris, he said, I want to tell you something. I put down my shovel, waited, That day you gave me the notebook. I wasn't just scared about Anna. I was scared about talking. What if I said the wrong thing? What if someone got angry? I nodded. That makes sense. But you said words were powerful, that I should save them for when they really mattered. I remember. Eric looked at the tomato plants. Still growing. Always growing. These words matter, he said. Thank you for waiting. Thank you for not giving up on me. I hugged that boy. Tight. Like I was trying to put 4 years of healing into one embrace. Anna hugged me too. Take care of the garden, she said. Eric will worry about the tomatoes. I watched their car disappear down the road. 2 kids who'd found their way back to each other and to themselves. I got a letter from them last Christmas, 10 years later. Anna's in college now, studying social work, wants to help kids like they used to be. Eric's studying agriculture, still loves growing things, still loves the quiet. But here's what I learned from those twins. Sometimes love looks like speaking for someone who can't speak for themselves. And sometimes love looks like stepping back so they can find their own voice. Anna loved Eric enough to carry his silence. Eric loved Anna enough to let her go when he was ready to speak. Both kinds of love take courage. Both kinds matter. That's what I remember most about Anna and Eric Morrison. Not the pain that brought them to us. Not the fear that kept them silent, but the love that helped them heal. The kind of love that changes everything. Well, that's one story from the old days. Got plenty more where that came from. Kids who taught me things I never expected to learn. Hearts that mended in ways I never thought possible. Maybe next time I'll tell you about little Daisy and her tree drawings. Or Tommy with the homemade tattoo. Each one left their mark on this old man's heart. Until then, remember what Eric taught me. Your words matter. Save them for when they count. And sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do is simply wait. Wait for someone to find their voice. Wait for healing to happen. Wait for love to do what love does best. Transform everything.